Well, George Casey launched his debut album, Get It On, back in February and had an amazing CD release party about 2 weeks ago at the Riverly. But of course, it's now available in stores and on iTunes. We welcome George Casey into studio. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Of course, we got Nick sitting right beside you, of course, with the George Casey Band. But
yes.
What an accomplishment. I mean, like, it's for, a musician, starting out. Now you have your debut album in stores and on iTunes. That's awesome.
It's actually unbelievable. It's a little bit surreal sometimes, because you see yourself out there. But, listening to yourself on the radio is great. I mean, you can't beat it. It's a mission accomplished.
Now, what happens when you're driving around, you're just listening to the radio, and your song comes on? Do you blast it? If someone's sitting beside you, do you like, this is my song? Like, what do you do? I've always wondered that.
The first time I told people this is my song, because I'm hearing it, in clubs and stuff too, and I'm like, now I just don't even tell people. I let other people say, hey, that's George there. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, it's funny because when you came, before you came into the studio, I was looking on your bio and I'm like, is this guy gonna do the Stones covers? Because you look exactly like Mick Jagger. You probably get that all the time on a regular basis. I wasn't sure if it was a cover band, but this is all original material, George.
It's all original material. Wrote them all myself. I couldn't do it without my great band, Nick Cousins and Pete McLean on bass and Sean Robinson on drums. My producer Tavis Stanley, who put all this together for me.
So in terms of your influences, I know a lot of musicians get this. Maybe they don't like this question, but for you, I mean, obviously you're in the rock genre, rock and retro being two of your big influencers. Can you give us some bands that have kind of influenced you over the years?
As far as songwriting goes, David Bowie, old David Bowie, Willie Nelson for songwriting. For performance bands, the Rolling Stones, Stone Roses.
Yeah. Any band with the name Stone in it?
Stone Temple Pilots.
Stone
Absolutely. Yeah.
Stone.
Yes.
Well, of course, the debut album, Get It On, you had your big CD release party at the Riverly, but now you're in works of making a music video for the next song you're going to perform here on the daytime set. Tell us about that experience.
Currently in production for Tear, which we're going to do in a little bit with you here. We're going to take it to Eastern Ontario, parts of Quebec, some beautiful country scenes, and it's going to tie in with the release of this song as well as a single.
So tell us about the fan response of your music and the album Get It On. Have you heard any? What's it been like?
The crowd response from people at the shows has been fantastic. We're leaving them wanting more. MySpace has been a great feedback for getting people's reactions, and they're loving it. They're like, how come we've never heard of you before? So,
now, is this something, George, I mean, how long have you been a musician for? Is this a full-time career gig for you, or you just kind of, I mean, it's taken off now, so what's happening in your life?
I'm trying to make it a full-time gig, don't get me wrong. As a musician, I've always had a guitar by my side, sort of informally trained, and it's fantastic. Can't complain.
Let me ask about MySpace really quickly. You mentioned you have a MySpace page. As a musician, at your level, on the cusp, up and coming, how important is it for musicians to have a MySpace page and really connect with those fans?
I think it is really important, because there were even fans that came out to the CD release party at the Rivoli and identified themselves as MySpace fans. So I was able to, get in touch, be personable with them. It's not just a page. You can communicate with the fans. You can get their feedback on what they like, and sort of plan things out around that as well, like what song to release, let's say.
That's awesome. All right, so we need all the information. If people log on to www.myspace.com/George Casey Music. They can interact with you, listen to some of your stuff. What are we about to hear right now?
We're going to hear the song called Tear. It's a nice ballad off the album. Currently not on MySpace, but it'll be up there soon.
All right, and look out for the music video in production right now with some beautiful scenery. Of course, here's George Casey and the band right here on Daytime.
How did you go? How did you go before you know? How did you go? Before you know the reason. I know you know your way around here. I can help you find your way back here. It's hard to hide from what happened here. You will the one who was meant for me. You will always be the one who slipped away. tear for love, I dried a tear. I dried another tear, I dried for love. I know you know your way around here. I can help you find your way back here. It's hard to hide from what happened here. You will always be the one who was meant for me. You will always be the one who slipped away. Forever in mine, it's ready to crack. Gimmick becomes to keep it on track. Give me my baby, for I did not sin. Penance was great, it must have been. I know you know your way around here, and I can help you find your way back here. It's hard to hide from what happened here. You will always be the one who was meant for me. You will always be the one who slipped away. You will always be the one who was meant for me. You will always be the one who slipped away.